Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Cassandra Good coming to you live from my home office here in Albany, Georgia. And ladies and gentlemen, today I want to talk to you about Livegood and the mission that we have with Livegood. With this mission alone, why Livegood would never, ever be saturated, and how I can prove that in any market, honestly, I don't believe in the word saturation. What I do believe in is that people are just either bored with something, or just like anybody else, a lot of times it takes a lot of hoopla, a lot of hype, a lot of all kinds of different things to encourage people, to move people, to motivate people. And if you're not just motivated, just understanding that Live Good wants to make sure that people get healthy, not only get healthy, but they stay healthy and not try to break the bank with it, then I don't know what else can move you. And see, that's what I wanted to talk to you all about today. Now, this is not, Live Good does not have weight loss products as of yet. But I will tell you, from my own personal experience, just me using the products, I have already lost 13 pounds. Why is that, you might ask? It's because when you start taking the right products, when you start taking the right ingredients with those right products, all the natural senses and essentials that your body craves naturally will come back into balance. You see, over the years, I know I've conditioned my body to eat a certain way. And that conditioning came from early on, me growing up, how my mother cooked. She was a caterer. My mother's from the South. My dad was a cook. Every essential conditioned habit of eating I learned through my parents. It wasn't until I got to being more athletic that I knew certain things would be good for me, as long as I was doing the athletic parts. But no one actually sat down and said, you know what, Cassandra, you need to do that anyway, regardless if you're playing basketball, regardless if you're lifting weights, regardless if you're running track, you need to be eating a certain way anyway. And see, we were all conditioned to thinking the way that we were eating was the right way to eat. We were also conditioned to think, do not leave your plate with food on it, because that was waste not, want not. That was a principle that you were wasting food, and we don't waste food in our home. But little did we know, it wasn't until I became a full-fledged adult, already had my daughter, that I realized that there are portion controls, that there was a chart that basically told us the amount, ounces, grams, if you will, of what we're actually supposed to be eating. And since looking at that and then being in different environments, I chose to go with the environment instead of looking and paying attention to actually what I was supposed to be doing. So you can't get upset when you see someone else over here doing what they're supposed to be doing, following the rules to take care of their temple, take care of their body, and they're not riddled with sickness and illness and all kinds of different diseases. Duly noted. But then, I'm a firm believer, when you know better, you do better. And I started on a holistic challenge for me almost 15 years ago. I was taking natural products. I would never take a prescription unless it was an antibiotic. Now, if it's an antibiotic, of course, I would definitely take it. And I've had 3 cases in my life where I've had to take, especially my adult life, where I've had to take antibiotics to make sure that my body wouldn't succumb to the infection that was invading it at the time. So what I want you guys to understand is, when you have a company that wants you to be healthy, not only do they want you to be healthy, but to stay healthy and not break the bank with it, you need to take heed and you need to pay attention. Why is that? Because the average companies now that are in health and wellness, or even in nutrition, have a purpose. And that purpose may be to get addicted to maybe the products that they have, by form of saying, we're going to help you lose weight. But once you lose the weight, you can't go back to normal eating. Why is that? It's because the food that they prepare for you, the meal packets that they prepare for you, are designed to keep you losing weight. And if you come off and start eating regular food, guess what? The weight comes back on. And sometimes, often more times, even more weight pulls back on. And this is one of the reasons why I love how Livegood came out and said, you know what? Not saying they said this, so let me inject this disclaimer. I'm not saying this is what they said, but I believe that the beginning, the ultimate beginning that they've done is the right one, and that is to give us products with most natural ingredients that give a person their balance back to their body. What does that do? That gives you the eradication of cravings for sugars, cravings for carbohydrates, cravings for lectins, cravings for maybe gluten, cravings for things that harm our bodies, cravings for things that add the weight to our bodies, cravings for things that give us the outbreak on our skin, cravings for things that will give us unnatural balance with our lymph nodes, different things of that nature. So, ladies and gentlemen, when I say there is no possible way that even through Livegood's mission could it ever be a saturated business, because you're going to have so many people that are going to wake up just like I have, and just like over 200,000 of our people have already. We're waking up and we're realizing that there is no possible way that Livegood would be saturated. And what I mean by saying saturated, I get at least once every 2 or 3 days, I get someone asking me, isn't it saturated? You know, this started back, the launch was back in December. It actually didn't launch in December. Livegood has been around since June of last year. But the launch for the pre-enrollee to help people realize just how many people would be interested and seeing how their downline would grow launched. So let's not get that confused. But when they asked me that, I said, there's no way. There's no way that people are waking up every single day realizing that they need to change their lifestyle. They need to change their eating habit. They have some imbalance with things. There's certain things that need help with. There is no way I can actually see this company being saturated. No way. And let me tell you another reason why. And I want to take you over here just so I can show to you if Livegood is saturated and it's just in its humble beginnings. Just look exactly what Coke has to say for the mission statement. Coke says they want to refresh the world. They want to inspire moments of optimism and happiness. And they want to create a value and make a difference. Now, we all know when Coca-Cola started, okay? So we all know when that started. I mean, we're talking years ago, many years ago, okay? And I'm not going to go into direct the history of Coke. That's not what this is all about. I want you to understand, when we talk about mission statement, they still have this mission statement. It's still embedded. And no matter what, they are nowhere near saturation. As more and more people every single day take heed to, hey, I want to try a Coca-Cola. Same thing with Pepsi-Cola. Pepsi-Cola says they want to create more smiles with every sip and every bite by creating joyful moments through their delicious and nourishing products and unique brand experiences. So they already knew that they were going to grow beyond just the beverage. So you understand, years ago, these companies have these missions, these companies have these visions, and they want to make sure that everyone gets the experience, either Coke or Pepsi. Well, let's go even further. You might say through saturation that sales will go down. No one's going to sell stuff that's been around for many years. Yes, they are, because Coke and Pepsi realize that they have clientele. They have consumers that actually love their product. They love the variety that they provide. They love what they bring to the table. And how do we know this? Because we look over here, Coca-Cola just in 2022 sold $43 billion worth. What? That's an increase of 11.25% from the previous year of 2021. Well, let's do even better. Let's go to see what Pepsi has done. $86 billion, which is an 8.7% increase from the year previous to that. Ladies and gentlemen, we don't need to keep talking about saturation. We don't need to keep talking about whether or not a company has our best interest at heart. We just know that when someone tells us, when they head up and they say, we want to help people get healthy, stay healthy, and without kicking them out of the bank, literally closing accounts, literally, because a lot of companies are doing that. People are suffering just to hold on to an auto ship. It's atrocious to watch, and it's even disheartening to even feel. So, ladies and gentlemen, understand this. We have a mission that will cure any thought of saturation. As you can see in the examples that I shared with you today, long-standing companies that have stood the test of time, just like what Livegood is going to do as well. So if you haven't stepped into Livegood as of yet, and you haven't experienced what we're experiencing, me 13 pounds down, not changing a serious diet or anything like that, but I feel great and the cravings are diminishing. Trust me, click the link below. Go ahead and join us here at Livegood. We'd love to have you on our team. If this is your first time on my YouTube channel, please go ahead and subscribe to my channel. Love to have you, and definitely hit that notification button so every time I upload a video, you will be the first one notified, so that you can come on over and look at the newest videos that I'm sharing with you today. Thank you so much for having me again in your home through YouTube. I appreciate it. God bless you. Y'all have a great day.